Vacations are great. We look forward to them, we plan for them, we pack for them, and then it's time to come home and reality sets in. But when we're on vacation, those money management and frugal skills still need to be in place. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some of our Florida vacation in the Keys, and I'm also going to share with you where someone tried to take advantage of us. And because of our frugal skills, we were on top of it. I hope you'll stick around. Hi, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income and I am living off of savings. I live in Kansas on a farm and I have a donkey. This is Brownie. I have frugal videos all year round, and I hope that you will join me this year as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. In this video, I'm going to give you some of our planning tips that we used to plan our vacation. We planned where we wanted to go. We looked at prices. We booked it before the prices went up months and months ago. We prepaid everything, and then we booked the car right before we went, and we used Turo. And Turo, we have found, has worked with us very well and also been cheaper than some of the rental car places. We flew into Miami and then we drove down to Key Largo, where we stayed in an older resort that we stayed in 3 years ago. It was very, very busy. There were a lot of people there this week. And last time we went, it wasn't as busy, but there still were plenty of lawn chairs that were free for us to use. They also provide bath towels that are free for us to use and free parking. A lot of places you stay at, those things cost you. They also provide a free kayak, a free paddle boat, a private beach, and all of that is with your resort reservation. And because it's an older resort, it doesn't cost as much as some of the others. So this is why we chose this resort, is because it was more affordable for us. So you can do this however you want when you're frugal. Planning also includes where you want to go, how much you want to spend, and hopefully you're able to pay for that before you go. This left only for us to have to buy food while we were down there and do anything that we wanted to do that might cost money while we were there. Everything else was already paid for. So that made our vacation right from the beginning stress-free. But I packed a lot of things that I use here at home to manage our money. And a lot of people will say, why would you do that? It's a vacation. Why would you want to track your spending? Why would you want to do that? Well, plenty of reasons. When you're on vacation, you are high target. They know you're coming. They know you're planning on spending money, and they know that you're probably going to be a little more carefree with your money while you're on vacation, because this is a vacation. And so they're thinking that you have the money to spend or the credit to spend, and that makes you a target. And in our video today, I'm going to show you how we were a target at one place that we went. My husband had gone there off and on for 40 years. In fact, he used to live in the Miami area. He felt comfortable at this place, and yet they had new people there that decided that they could maybe take advantage of a tourist that might not look at their charges until they got home. So let me show you some of our vacation and tell you about it. And I hope you really enjoy this video because we really enjoyed our vacation. The first place that we stopped was Shipwrecks Bar and Grill right on the water. And we were so hungry, I didn't even get a picture of our food. My husband and I have both been losing weight and just not being as hungry as we have been. So we only planned to eat one time a day and save any leftovers for the evening if we were hungry. And this worked out really well. We were able to eat out every single day and still have food in the fridge fridge if we got hungry. I didn't gain any weight on this trip, and he lost 6 pounds. Next, I want to give you a little tour of where we stayed. And we travel in the off season, which is much less expensive. And we also fly out on Wednesdays, fly back on Tuesdays, and those are two of the less expensive days to fly. So that makes our vacation more affordable. And of course, I did need to get the handicap suite so that it was easier for me to get in and out of the shower. So it may not be as beautiful as some resorts, but it met our needs. I did pick the pool side so that we had a view, and we also could see the ocean from our dining room window. That side does cost a little bit more, but I thought that it was worth it. And then this is the reason that we choose this beach. It is private only for the people that stay there. They only have a little over 20 rooms, so it's very, very small. And we aren't exactly alone, as you can see. There are a few iguanas that saunter by while you're laying out. But the sunsets from this area are absolutely gorgeous. In fact, every night, everyone there is on the dock watching the sunshine and taking videos. And then they applaud afterwards for God's handiwork. This is Snook's Bayside, and we took advantage of happy hours as well so that we could get half-price drinks if we wanted to indulge. They also have these little tiki huts that can take you out for an experience on the water, with sunset tours that take you to the front seat. We did not indulge in those tiki hut rides because I wasn't sure I could get on and off safely. But we enjoyed watching them every night as we were watching the sunsets. One of the places we stopped by for lunch was Hobo's Cafe. And as you can see from the portions, this definitely lasted 2 meals and it was delicious. We were also able to see manatees and nurse sharks more than once just swimming next to the boardwalks. And the pelicans weren't even scared of us. It was like they're just used to seeing people all of the time. So it was really fun. Now, by that boardwalk, there is a tiki bar, and my husband has gone there for 40 years. So he did not feel uncomfortable whatsoever there. Now, I'm a country girl. I don't really know city rules a lot of times or city customs. So sometimes I let him take the lead on some of this stuff. But we had a couple of drinks, and he said, "Can you keep our tab open?" And she said, "Sure." We gave her the credit card. She gave it right back. He said, "We're just going to walk out here on the dock. We'll be back in a few minutes." We came back in a few minutes, and they said, "Oh, we had to close your tab." Well, we hadn't been gone hardly at all. And why did they have to close our tab? Because somebody decided to give themselves a really big tip and add on a couple of drinks that we didn't have. And it took us over 30 minutes at that tiki bar because no one could find our receipt either. And my husband said, "We want to tab out." And they said, "Well, we already tabbed you out." "Yeah, I bet you did. Let me see the receipt." They couldn't find it. So I had to get on the app on my phone and look at the charges that had been sent to our card. And that's how I found out they had overcharged us. They charged us $80.80 for 2 drinks. I don't think so. So we had to have bookkeeping come down. I had to call the manager in a couple of days just to verify. I did get a refund, and then they recharged it the right amount. And guess what? They didn't get very much of a tip compared to the first time because they charged us over 30% for a tip, which was crazy. So, yeah, if we hadn't asked for a receipt, we wouldn't have known it. And if I didn't keep track of my charges every day on vacation, they might have got away with it. And they probably think people are on vacation, they're not really paying attention to their charges, they're not going to really know what they spent when they got home, and maybe they're a little tipsy. So, yeah, they were trying to take advantage, but they didn't take advantage. I don't think my husband will ever ask to leave a tab open again, but we got a receipt every single place that we went, and we didn't let them off the hook. So be sure and watch those charges on vacation, because if they can take advantage of you, they just might do it. I saw so many people coming down from the hotel while we were trying to rectify that situation, ordering drinks and saying, charge it to my room, and walking away. And I wondered later, what did they get charged? Will they even know when they got home if it was right or wrong? Because there's just going to be an amount. And I don't think they're probably tracking it, because they weren't walking away with any kind of receipt. They weren't signing any kind of tab. And they were just walking away. And I felt really concerned for them after what we went through. Plus, without them getting a receipt, they can't even prove that they were charged wrong. So these were some things that I just observed. And also, after what we went through, you can bet we're going to be even more scrupulous when it comes to something like that. One of our next favorite places that we went was Sharky's Shark Bite, right along the marina. And their food is so delicious here that we went twice. But my next tip would be, when something like that happens, don't let it ruin your vacation. Deal with it, go on, and enjoy your time. And I don't know if any of you ever saw the movie from 1951, The African Queen, about a boat with Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn, and it went around the world twice, this boat. It went floating by us with passengers while we were eating at Sharky's. And my husband knew the movie. We were able to see the boat. It's docked right there along the harbor in Key Largo, and it's part of their touristy activities. So it looks like something you wouldn't want to get on, but it's been around the world twice, and you can bet I'm going to watch that movie now. And if you know me, I had to spend some time at the pool on the last day. My husband got seasick. We wanted to go on this glass boat coral reef experience. It was very affordable, and it was so windy. It was throwing people all over the place. They couldn't hold on. There was limited seating, and it was pandemonium. And so many people were sick. So the last day, unfortunately, he didn't feel good, and I was out by the pool. So everything doesn't always go perfectly, but it makes great memories regardless, and it's a lot of fun. So don't let a few of those things spoil your memories. Enjoy your vacation, enjoy the memories and the time together that it brings you. And of course, Maxie was really happy to see that we came home. Thanks for listening today. I hope these tips help someone today. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.